So it's been sort of like I'm putting my life on hold until I lose weight. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live for several reasons. Let me know in the comments below if there is something that you've wanted to do that you've held yourself back from. If there's a long list, let me know what that list is as well, alright? You can't hold yourself back because of the other people. If that's the case, they don't deserve you. For real. And I know that's not always super easy, but like, this is your life. Are you gonna waste it because of other people? You know? Fuck it. What's going on, y'all? It's Athena Amoeba coming at you with no makeup on, zero aesthetic, because I just want to get this out. I just need to share. So, it is Thursday. I'm so happy my week is almost over, even though I had a super short week due to my vacation. But I've just needed a lot of time to myself. I've had some time to think. Also, I've been inspired by this one YouTuber in particular, Jake Monroe. I've been inspired by him because he just like is himself unapologetically. He does what he wants, much like Amelia Fart. And I think I like him for the same reasons that I like Amelia Fart, even though they're very different from each other. But there are obviously things about them that are very similar, such as their aesthetics are pretty extreme. They're unapologetic about it, and they are just absolutely themselves. Like, they don't let other people's definitions or standards or expectations stop them from being fully themselves. The other thing that they have in common is that at one point in time, they did let other people stop them. Finally, they're both relatively close to my age. I think I'm only slightly older than both of them, which is also inspiring because, you know, 30 really isn't that old at all, but we have this like youth, especially in America. I don't know how it is in other cultures, but youth is like so limited to a very small set of years right after you're like basically no longer a child. So what's the fun in life and living if you're all of a sudden too old to do anything extreme or wild or out there, or that's not adult or mature or like basically just plain and boring? I don't get it. It's like there's a very short amount of years in which society gives you permission to be outside of the norm, and even then they really don't, because Jake talks in some of his videos about how he was bullied in high school and he was like pretty much bullied in college for dressing the way he dresses. So even then, I mean, people aren't really accepting, but it's like a big difference when you dress like that when you're 14 and 34. You know what I mean? Like, people are looking at you like, you're still dressing like this? And it's like, but yeah, but like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not dead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, do what you want. That's the point of all this, is just do what you want, regardless of what age. Regardless of what age. I used to Google years ago, several years ago, when I was like 27, 28, I used to Google search how old is too old to dye your hair a crazy color. Like, literally, I would Google that like over and over, like looking for some like validation or for some answer, and like all I could find was one short clip of Kelly Osbourne saying, you know, once you're 30, you need to stop dyeing your hair. So that was sort of like, oh, I'm close to 30. Maybe this is like, I don't know why I let that get to me. I don't know why I was searching for permission. I don't know. I guess I didn't want to be blame, or I didn't want to be, I don't know, I just didn't want to be something. It's not even so much that I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be totally out of like the loop, I guess. I didn't want to be like, oh, like nobody's doing this anymore. It's just me. I really cared about that for some reason, but I don't care about that anymore. Like, literally, you have one life. You just have to do what you fucking want. Just do it, because if you don't, you're just repressing yourself, and what's the point of living if you're not gonna live it fully? What's the point of living if you're not going to do what you fucking want, you know? What's the point? Just do what you want. You don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need validation from other people. You have to give validation to yourself, and I think it'll be easier to give validation to yourself once you start living the way that you want. I hope this message finds you well. I hope you do what you want. The other thing that I've been thinking about that I really want to say is I took some time to meditate last night and do a little doodling. It's the most minuscule doodling you could ever do, but it was calming and it's what I needed. And in the back, I wrote down things that I wanted for myself, things that I wanted for my life that maybe I've been too afraid to admit because I didn't think that I deserved it. And one of the things that I realized has been a subconscious belief. Subconscious, because I never consciously thought it. I subconsciously, wholeheartedly believed it, and it shaped everything that I did. I realized that the reason that I've been focusing so much on weight loss, but at the same time why it's been so hard for me and why I've been going back and forth and haven't been able to stay consistent, is that my reasons for wanting to lose weight are really, really, really rooted in the fact that I believe I am not worthy, I'm not able, or I'm not deserving of doing other things that I want to do until I lose weight. So it's been sort of like I'm putting my life on hold until I lose weight. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live for several reasons. First of all, in, let's say, worst case scenario, I really want to believe in myself, but let's say I never lose the weight. Let's just say that I don't. Let's just say this is my body for life. Am I going to stop myself from doing things that I want to do because I don't have the ideal body or the body that I feel like I should have for whatever reason? Is that really gonna stop me from doing other stuff I want to do? When I realized that this was actually holding me back, it was kind of a game changer, and I just pretty much realized this like yesterday. But I realized, like, yes, I do still want to work on losing weight. I really do. And I want to be body positive, and I want to accept my body, and I want to, help other people accept their bodies, which is hard to do. I feel like these two things don't easily coexist. And the reason why they don't easily coexist is because our society is 100% fat phobic. And it's hard to navigate wanting to get fit and wanting to change your body in a fat phobic society. It's like, I don't understand how to pursue this without feeding into fat phobia in some sort of way. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying intentionally. I mean, like, I feel like it's almost just like inherently ingrained in like the fitness and health and wellness is like this fat phobia is like your life will be better when you're not fat, basically. You know what I mean? Because fat people aren't respected the same as others, because fat people aren't deemed as attractive as non-fat people, because fat people aren't deemed worthy, or especially fat women. Like, fat women specifically are looked at as way less than, as not desirable. And because our society places a woman's value on appearance, that pretty much instantly puts all fat women at like a disadvantage. And if you're non-traditional looking like me, having bags and a nose and a face that isn't, made for Instagram, then it's like double. Because there are fat women, but their faces are still very palatable for the mainstream. And when you have both, when you're fat and when your face is not, the gold standard of modeldom, Instagram modeldom, it's hard. It's hard for me. Honestly, I struggle with this, and I hate that I struggle with this, and I've admitted this to you guys multiple times, and it's getting easier to admit it, and I feel like admitting it is helping me, because it's helping me to identify like why I feel bad about myself, and there's obviously underlying themes and underlying reasons of why I felt this way in the first place. But this is like the end result, is like I feel bad about my appearance, both my weight and my face. It's like I feel like if I just had one of those things, it would be easier, but I feel like I have both. And then at the same time, I feel like I need to be grateful for myself, because I mean, even if I was, like, let's just say hypothetically that like the world is ranked in terms of attractiveness, and I was at the very fucking bottom. Let's say I was the least attractive person in the fucking world, okay? In that worst case scenario, what then? You know what I mean? I would still have to love myself. I would still have to claim myself. I would still have to own my face. I would still have to own my body and love myself regardless. Even if other people think that I'm not worthy or lovable because of how they perceive me, or because of what they think about my appearance. You know what I mean? It's just, when I think of it like that, it's just so obvious that this is all bullshit, but we let it get to us. Especially as a woman, it's easy to let this get to you because, like I said, as a society, we really do place a lot of value on appearances for women. Like, this is how women are judged and valued, is by appearance. Like, I'm not saying that everybody operates this way. I'm just saying this is an underlying theme that's embedded in our social fabric. Like, it just is. It just fucking is. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't change or that it's right, but it's the way that it is. And so that's why I grapple with this. That's why many other women are affected by this. And I think that there has to be a point where you just learn to love yourself and let go of these standards. It's hard. It's hard. It's easy to think logically, but in practice, when you're like out in the world living and you have specific experiences with other people related to your appearance, you know, or whatever, and if other people treat you less than, it's hard. It's really hard to not internalize that. But here's the thing, is that's the key, is learning not to internalize it, learning to weigh your own opinion and your own self-worth heavier than you would ever weigh the way that someone else treats you, because really the way that someone else treats you is saying way more about them than it's saying about you. Maybe someone treats you less than because they think you're not attractive or whatever. What a shit fucking person. I'm sorry, but what a shit fucking person. I get it. Everybody, I'm not saying attraction doesn't matter. Everybody's attracted to different things. Everybody's attracted to different people. Attractiveness does matter. If you're not attracted to someone, you're not gonna like be with them. But you don't have to treat someone like shit just because you don't think that they're attractive. You don't have to treat somebody like they're less than or like they're undeserving because they don't fit your fucking standard of beauty. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's hard out there because people do, because in reality, it's like people are afraid that associating with someone that they deem unattractive will somehow reflect poorly on them. Somehow that like brings down their social status, which is like, oh, it just blows my fucking mind, you know, when I think about it. It's sickening. It's sickening. But that's society, you know, that's the way a lot of people, not everybody, there's a lot of people that don't operate in this way, and those are the people that we should be associating ourselves with. Intelligent people. People who aren't 100% hypnotized and warped by these mainstream beauty standards. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know when I see that, yeah, obviously it looks good, but that's not the only thing that looks good. But we train ourselves that it is, and so we believe it. And it's really harmful when it starts to impact how you feel about yourself, and when that starts to impact your whole life. Like, you don't participate in activities that you would want to because you feel like you're not worthy, or like you're not deserving, or no one wants to see that, you know what I mean? So, or like you can't do that because, you know, you're too fat or you're too ugly or whatever. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Listen here. Oh, this is like the conclusion that I'm coming to, right? It's like, just do what you want. If other people judge you, if other people put you down for it, again, that's on them, okay? Just fucking do it. And there's something that you want to do that you feel like you're not currently good at, you have to start, and you have to do it anyway, and you have to go through that small painful time of being bad at something, because you're never gonna get good at it if you don't allow yourself to be bad at it, you know what I mean? So this is much longer and more rambly than I wanted it to be, but it's just what I'm feeling, and this is just like real, and like I don't know if anybody could relate to this, but like it's just is really what I'm feeling, and it's what I'm going through. And unfortunately, my appearance, as shallow as that is what holds me back in my life, because I let other people's perceptions of me, or what I think other people's perceptions of me, or the way that people have treated me in the past, or even the way that people treat me now, you know? It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but like I can feel stuff sometimes, or maybe it's just coming from me now that I'm so used to it. Point is, yeah, I realized this has been holding me back. I realized that by focusing on weight loss, I'm not saying that I'm going to give up on my weight loss. Again, there are other reasons why I want to lose weight. First of all, like I said, I already have issues with my face. I feel like when I'm slimmer, I have less issues with my face, so that's helpful. Like in certain angles, my face looks better when I'm slimmer. Because I already have other issues I can't fix with my face, like my bags and my nose. Maybe one day I will get plastic surgery. I don't know. If I can learn to love and accept myself before then, I won't. But if I can't, maybe I will, because I just don't want to feel, it's painful to feel this self-rejection, you know? And as much as I know it comes from external society standards, having the knowledge doesn't change my experience of what I feel every single day, you know? So that's a whole other topic for another time. But point is, I realized that me wanting to lose weight first and focusing on that first and foremost above everything else is because I want to get that out of the way so that I can do other stuff, instead of focusing on slowly losing weight over time, which is more realistic and more sustainable, while starting to do the other things that I want to do. Like, just give myself permission to do this stuff. Give myself permission to love myself enough and be my own validator. And if I give myself permission, I don't need permission from anybody else. If somebody says, ew, like, you shouldn't do that, or, you know, whatever anyone else could possibly say to me that's negative, I don't care. I don't care. Like, why are people judging other people like that anyways? You know what I mean? It's like, get a fucking life. Get a fucking life. Get a fucking life. If you have to judge people based on that type of stuff. It's like, if I'm not hurting you, or if I'm not hurting anybody else, what does it matter, you know? And I haven't even done anything yet. Like, I haven't even gotten any negative feedback yet, but it's like the fear of, you know, because I see how other people are treated, and I know how I have been treated in the past. So anyway, my point is, long rambly rant, it's week 3, and week 3 I realized that focusing on my weight loss solely as like my main goal is harmful for me because it's holding me back from doing other things. Ironically, if I started doing these other things, it would probably help me lose weight. So it's like, I gotta give myself permission to start doing these other things. Now, what are these other things? Well, I don't know how much to share, but I feel like I'm a repressed sensual person. Sensuality, sexuality, big part of who I've always been, have repressed it because I feel like I don't deserve it. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't. But dancing, certain specific types of dancing, is stuff that I want to explore, and I haven't given myself permission because I feel like I'm not at the right weight. Fuck that. I'm gonna start doing this shit very soon, within the next few weeks. Dancing. That's all you gotta know for now. Dressing more glam. Like, this also has to do with my face. Like, I feel like I just don't have a good face for glam, but I think that has to do with me not knowing how to do makeup right. So if I keep practicing, then maybe I will look better. Also, just other parts of my aesthetic. Allowing myself to get piercings again, allowing myself to get plugs, which that's another thing I judge myself on. I love how this looks on other people. I love how this looks, especially on women. I just really like how it looks. I don't like the super big ones personally for myself. I would just like want smaller ones, but I love how it looks. I've always loved how it looks. A couple years ago I tried stretching my ears, and I lost my kit, and so they just kind of closed up again, but I think I'm in a much better place now, and have some more stability than I used to, so I would like to try again. I don't think I'm too old. I'm gonna stop thinking I'm too old for anything. If I like something, I'm gonna do it. That's like pretty much my challenge for myself now and going into my 30s. And like, if other people think, oh, it's lame, nobody does that anymore, blah, 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 I don't care. If I like how something looks, I'm going to do it. And much thanks to Jake Monroe for like helping to inspire this in me. Like, his aesthetic got really extreme, and I think especially because what inspires me a lot about him is that he's a guy, and I think it's actually harder for guys to have an extreme aesthetic than it is for women because, you know, women, we're supposed to wear makeup, right? So if you go a little extreme with it, it's like, whatever. But for a guy to wear makeup, for a guy to color his hair, for a guy to, you know, go that far out, it's not that common. And so, like, I just feel like if he could do it, I could do it type of thing. And so whatever that means to me, obviously I'm not gonna copy his aesthetic, but it's like whatever I like I said, to me plugs look good. I want some more piercings, and I'm just not gonna worry about like what I think other people will think or what people are or aren't doing anymore. It doesn't matter. Like, what do you want to do? What do you like? What makes you feel good? And fuck anybody who gives you a negative fucking comment. Fuck anybody who gives you a negative fucking comment. I just, like, even thinking about it, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, someone just putting you down for what? For what? It just doesn't make any sense. So, it makes less sense to give a shit because clearly that's a shit person. So, just saying. But anyway, yeah, this is really long, really rambly. Holy shit, almost 30 minutes. I will chop this up for sure. But yeah, this is week 3. This is a big major breakthrough that I've had, a big realization, so big long video. But yeah, this is a huge moment for me. Maybe someone out there can fucking relate. This is your life. You have one fucking life. Fucking live it. Like, live it. Do what you want. Fuck other people. Fuck anybody else. Fuck anyone who judges you. They're not living your life. You are. And you have to enjoy it. And you have to like what you do. And you have to be happy. If you're not doing stuff because you're afraid other people are going to judge you and it's making you unhappy, maybe it's time to cut those people out of your life. Do you. Do you. Be you. I'm gonna be me. Sending you love. Until next time. See you guys later.